So I took a little look here on this video that he made here, reaction to Ollie Richards, and he said that he think Ollie Richards is real, that he is real polyglot. I'm starting to notice something about this guy here, that he's full of bullshit and a liar, and I'm not really sure if he's from Italy, because his Italian videos seems very fake. So there's a big chance that he's from USA and can only speak one language, English. I think he's part of the language learning community, because he said in the other video that he is friends with this guy, Luke Ranieri, or what's the name is, the one who has something about Latin also. And then now I also see the last video here about Xiaomia. I watched a little from this video about Xiaomia. Then he will actually say that, oh, it's good, he tried to learn Sicilian and that he is doing okay. Even his videos are totally fake and edited and just using a script, this Xiaomia. And then also, I think he was saying some good things about language simp. And same time he also said good things about some other one who was fake. Yeah, he said something good about this one here. Where is he? The one, I think, Lang Focus channel. I'm not sure what he would say about Math versus Japan. So it looks like he's part of the language learning community. Here, this one about Lang Focus. So it looks like he's full of bullshit and he's part of the language learning community. Here, this one about Ollie Richards.
Metatron, long time no see. Yeah, let me, I need a little more green light. Not posting for a while. I've been a little busy with my main channel. I produce content, therefore I'm going to start posting again on this channel. It's Ollie Richards. Now, I've already reviewed a video of his. It was about the Portuguese language and he did a fantastic job. So I really...
He said that he did a review on Ollie Richards' Portuguese videos and he did a fantastic job. So you want to say that Ollie Richards did a fantastic job with his Portuguese. Even I have showed that Ollie Richards is totally fake and he can only speak one language, English, and his Portuguese, and the same with the Spanish and the other languages. He's just reading from a script, this Ollie Richards, he's totally fake. Then this guy will say he's doing good with his Portuguese because he's part of the language learning community. This fake liar.
Liked his content when I checked it out at that time. Today we found, and it's called How Professional Spies Learn Languages Fast. Now, as someone who has learned a few languages relatively fast, maybe, I don't know, kind of depends, I'm curious to see what he's going to say. Let's see if any of these techniques are something that I used myself or if it's just going to blow my mind and then we're going to learn freaking Swedish next week. Let's go.
I spent the last 6 months
I'm curious to see what he's going to say. Let's see if any of these techniques are something that I used myself or if it's just going to blow my mind and then we're going to learn freaking Swedish next week. Let's go.
Who is going to learn Swedish next week? Like, is he going to learn Swedish? Like, what kind of bullshit is this?
I spent the last 6 months shadowing former spies to uncover the truth behind...
We weren't even told what language it was good.
That I'd like to hear him speak. I do think this man is legit though, because there are a lot.
Did you hear that? He said that he thinks that Ollie Richards is legit. This Metatron, he's part of the language learning community. Same with Language Simp, and I think maybe Language Jones is also part of them. They pretend that they want to expose the polyglot YouTubers while they're also part of the language learning community. It's like a big scam community. Listen what he will say now about Ollie Richards.
After learning 8 languages myself and teaching tens of thousands of students, I've been mighty impressed.
8 languages, I appreciate that. I'd like to hear him speak. I do think this man is legit though, because
8 languages and legit, you are a liar.
there are a lot of people on this platform, unfortunately, a lot of influencers like, I'm a polyglot, and they are frauds. And I will call every single one of them out.
He say he will call every single of the frauds out, the one that is fake polyglot. So it looks like the language learning community, after I made videos about them, and I think there are also a few others who are saying bad things about them, then now they want to pretend that there are some of them that are real and then some of them are not real, and then they will try to help each other to save some of them. By save, I mean that they will make videos like this and telling, oh, Ollie Richards is a real polyglot, and this polyglot is real, and this one is real. So they will try to save their big lie by saying that some of them are real. Even they're all fake and liars. And now I'm starting to see what this Metatron is. He's a big liar.
Prepare for that series, or I'll make some enemies. But this man, to me, on this platform, unfortunately, a lot of influencers like, I'm a polyglot, and they are frauds. And I will call every single one of them out. Prepare for that series, or I'll make some enemies. But this man,
you see, he will call out the fake polyglots, but same time he will say Ollie Richards is real, and he will say this Lang Focus is also a good channel, and he will also say good things about Xiaoma. He's full of bullshit. He's part of the language learning community and helping them. This liar here, Metatron,
to me, seems legit, because I really liked his book. And they are frauds, and I will call every single one of them out. Prepare for that series, or I'll make some enemies. But this man, to me, seems legit, because I really liked his Portuguese videos, and let's go.
Impressed.
yeah, you Metatron, you're full of bullshit, and you're part of the language learning community, and you're supporting them and helping them, and you're working together with them, and you are fake. And I think you can only speak one language, English, and I don't think you're really from Italy. You might be some American Italian or something, but I think your Italian is fake. I've seen your Italian is totally fake.
By these techniques, CIA, MI6.
Is West fine? What the hell's gonna happen?
Ja, mijn bureau had een auto reserveerd.
Yeah, spies have a lot more riding on them.
Put them your bill, Brad.
Excellent. And also, if you have to understand, like, if you're a spy, you're trying to gather intelligence, but if you can't read it,
We all need a reason why.
Undercover.
You know what the CIA says? Any language.
and I think that's a problem with wrong expectations, and that happens a lot, actually, kind of overlaps with people that start a YouTube channel, and then they stop after 6 months because they thought, within 6 months, I'm surely going to get 80,000 subscribers. Then that doesn't happen, and then because their goals were too stretched, and then they're disappointed. They're like, well, I only have like 200 subs in like 8 months, so this is not working for me. Well, believe it or not, sometimes it does happen. You have channels that make like videos, 100,000 subs. It does happen. Very, very rare. It's an exception. You should not focus on an exception. I think same thing here. There are some people extremely talented. They will make incredible progress in language learning so fast, but you shouldn't look at that and be like, oh, that's me, because, we all have this idea of we are the protagonist, I'm so special, that kind of stuff. But sometimes that can be detrimental because then you're going to set the wrong goals. With my channel, for instance, and I mean the main channel, first 2 years, I did not grow one bit. I had like 300 subs, but then the growth became exponential because I didn't give up. Same with languages, never give up.
Which course trying to make you...
It's not really the same. Because with languages, you cannot just learn a language very fast or learn 4, 5, 10 languages very fast. You are a big liar.
Perfect is completely missing the point.
Perfection is a bit off-putting, and we're more endearing.
Just sit on your boat and I'll blow our fall.
When you get so focused on practicing,
Get the points across.
French with an accent that comes from South France.
He's been told what the translation is, but he doesn't know where to put a... And if I... But also when it comes to... I did understand him, but excellent scene. It's really funny. But yeah, it was difficult to understand him for a native speaker.
nobody is buying that he...
Yeah, you're not a native speaker of Italian or Portuguese or whatever. And he is supporting the Polyglot YouTubers and he's part of the language learning community. I'm starting to see the truth about those people here. This language simp is part of the language learning community, and also this Metatron. And I think this Language Jones might also be one of them. And now they pretend that they want to expose the Polyglot YouTubers, while in reality they're trying to say that many of them are real. They're just some big liars. Look, this one here also about the Xiaoma. This video here about the Xiaoma. And Xiaoma is totally fake. But he will still say nice things about him.
In sea, south of Italy. I need to double check this.
And you see here, Sicilian man reacts to Xiaoma's video speaking Sicilian in Sicily. And I think he's full of bullshit. I think he's not really from Sicily or Italy. I think he's full of bullshit. I think he's American. And maybe he has some Italian background. But there are many American Italians who cannot really speak Italian. Their parents or grandparents were from Italy, but they never learned the language. I don't think he can speak Italian. I think it's fake. But if he can, then he can only speak English and Italian. But I think he's fake and full of bullshit. And I think there was one guy here in the comments who said something about himself being Italian, but that he can't speak the language. Look here, I think. I've been to Sicily earlier this year and I fell in love. My mom's family is from here. My mom's family is from Messina region. It was a fantastic experience. Unfortunately, there is not much material online to learn Sicilian. Not much material online to learn Sicilian. And then this guy here in the video want to say that he can speak the language. My family originally comes from Sicily, and I always want to learn Sicilian over Italian for that purpose, but the resources for it is very difficult to find. Personally, as an American whose family has been here for 3 generations, my family only faintly speaks other than English, and it's always Italian when it is. You can see this guy says that his family only faintly speaks Italian, just know a little Italian, and maybe the same with him. And then also I think he cannot speak Sicilian. Then this guy in the video want to say that he can speak Italian and Sicilian and Latin and many other languages also. And then this guy in the video want to say that he speaks Sicilian. I think he's full of bullshit.
I need to double check it. And here we are, 小马在纽约. Here it is, 小马 New York City, in New York City, in fact. All right, so I think you'll know him. Extremely popular. Goodness gracious, 6.4, can't even read. Yeah, make videos about languages, can't even read numbers. 6.4 million subscribers. And as you know, he's got a lot of videos where he is like, oh, white guy speaks incredible language that no one knows. Like, I suppose, let me close that so we don't get that sound. I surprise stranger in every language. White guy bargains for clothes in fluent Mandarin. American tourist in Italy. Shocks Chengdu by speaking Sichuanese. Go surprises people speaking Swahili, speaking any. He's basically done it with every possible language on the planet. Sort of. Of course, his content, well, the titles at least, are extremely clickbaity. We all know that. I think the only one that he speaks really well is Mandarin. Oh, and here it is. Annoying American tourist gets destroyed in Sicily when he tries speaking Sicilian. Well, since I am from Sicily, specifically from Palermo, I'm gonna have to check this one.
Yeah, bullshit with you. I think you're full of bullshit and fake.
Now,
Avete acqua poi po?
The related language of Sicilian. And because most people here
I sound horrible, but I'm just gonna tell you how it is. It depends on the area of Palermo. If you go to areas that are a little more upper Italian, on the to Italian, which they also speak with a heavy accent, but they also speak it and understand it.
more, I feel like the people who from Academia Siciliana who promote the beaches.
Okay, so this guy is not from Palermo. He must be from somewhere else in Sicily. I'll have to double check him. Paliem. He told him como Sicilian, although, I mean, the sentence was a mess, but Sicilian is a mess anyways sometimes, so that's great.
I realized in Sicily they don't really eat.
Which is okay, but Sicilian varieties, Sicilian languages, Sicilian dialects, they vary monumentally across the island.
Oh my god. Wow. Oh my god.
Nice. So, granita, but you can have it with gelato.
Loved it. Of course.
Double kiss is standard, but usually done. So, apoiso. Think about that. Un antichi siciliano. Why did she correct him? Because it was wrong? All right, so the word BC, the most, I want to say, yeah, it's quite different. So the word BCR in Palermo, most, I want to it's different. Malagain, low-level criminals and people that you don't want to mess with. So, of course, she wanted... Ma mangiare stamattina. So I would say mangiare. Sta morendo ripetetta, ma mangiare un pane no capoicchio. For instance, my friend, an expansion zone, which mostly like it can be dangerous. Is it like in my case? Go bestiare. I'm thinking, you know what? I might call the word bestiare. You know, I'm gonna.
Look, now he will say he will call his friend who can speak Sicilian, and then it's full of edits because it's totally fake.
Do it now. I'm gonna do it now.
Look, there was an edit there.
Do it now.
Look now, there's an edit here, but I don't want to waste time to show the edits. I already showed in my other video that he is totally fake and making edits. Look here. Look, where is this one? Autoplay. It's there on the top, there on the left side of his head, and the play button on the mic there, on the big mic there. I don't know if they edit here at 10:34 or 35 or 36 like that. Look now. Look now, he's looking to the left side there. And look, where is this one? Autoplay, and where's the play button? Look here. Look. And suddenly he had his mobile in his hand. In less than a second, his mobile was in his hand. It was not in his hand before that, because there was an edit there.
Do it now.
I think it was in his hand, but his hand was down. Look there, you can see his hand is down there on the right side. In less than a second, his hand will be up. Look here. Look now. His hand is down there on the right side. Then look here now. In less than a second, his hand is up. His hand was down. Then in less than a second, his hand is up because there was an edit.
Wait là, così sta facendo, sta travagliando. Che fai, sta travagliando?
Lavoro a posto,
Sempre a travagli, se tu puoi, insomma, ta scuidai sa, u siciliano tu scuidai se.
Cacci,
Da fino a parlare siciliano, così.
stanno, tu stai. Puoi.
E te che te pensiai sì stamattina, eh?
Davanti te ne mangiava quanto, ma mangia segno io.
Edit. There's an edit there. I don't know if he can speak Sicilian or Italian, but he's making a lot of editing and faking. I think it's fake, but look here.
Sì, stamattina, eh?
Davanti te ne mangiava quanto.
Look here. I'll try to show you. There's an edit here. Okay, now you can see there on the left side his finger there near from his face there. And look here now. Look here. See, you have his finger there and hand there near from his face. Then look here. Look. Suddenly his hand is moved away. There was an edit there. And he was looking to the front. Suddenly he's looking to the left side. I don't know if he can speak the language, but it looks fake. Look here. You see there will be some shaking and his hand will move away from his face like that. Look now, his hand is in front of his face. And look to the left side and look here. Look, suddenly his head move away and he look even more to the left side like that. And there you can see there's some computer screen on the left side. I don't know if he's looking and reading from it. I don't know if he can speak this Sicilian or Italian, but I think there's something fake about this guy. He's totally fake.
Sì, comunque ti sto registrando, eh?
Immaginavo.
Edit, again an edit. Every few seconds there's an edit.
It's more on the rude side, I suppose. But anyway, it's so funny because the lady goes like, "No, pistiare, mangiare."
Also, you only speak for like a minute or something, or less than a minute.
Sì, stamattina.
Davanti te ne mangiava quanto, ma mangia segno io.
Sì, comunque ti sto registrando.
There'll be another edit here also, I think. You can see now he's looking up. He's looking up like that, and only one hand with the mobile there.
And
There was some shaking there. There was some editing.
sì, sei in un video, sei in un video. Let me switch to English.
There was an edit there.
Strano, eh? Immaginavo. Sì, sei in un video, sei in un video.
There'll be another edit now. Well, it's difficult to show those edits. Try to look where he have his hands and where he's looking and closed eyes like that. There's an edit there.
Let me switch to English so people can understand. So I'm making a video.
Let me switch to English again. Just talking for a few seconds only in this Italian or Sicilian.
Reaction to Xiaoma. I don't know if you know him, but he's like a New York popular YouTuber, and he went, which I mean, it is a word. A little rude, right? Oh my gosh.
È buona? Buona, yeah?
Buona.
Excited.
I love Sicilians. Mangiate quello e poi te.
I've never heard any.
I'll just tell you no.
Cuisine, but that happens as well in Italy, all over Italy. Eaten is a very important culture. I know that a lot of Italians, you would have to say prima vuota. So the way Americans usually mispronounce that is simply only. Let me see this. Coffee.
Si chiamo una americano, sì.
Some sentences he put together really well.
No.
Okay, now he will say his opinion about Xiaoma and his Sicilian speaking. Then he will say something nice about it.
Mi sai insegnare me siciliano, sì.
You would say mi stai insegnando or Siciliano. So yeah, some sentences he put together really well, which I imagine were the sentences that were sort of pre-fabricated by the natives for him, and then he repeated them several times and occasionally tried to build up sentences, but clearly, I mean, a couple of days. Still, he couldn't do that, but it's normal because, I mean, in fact, I want to say it's impressive. What he has already managed to do is impressive also because let's remember one thing. Yeah.
You say what he's doing is impressive, and that he managed to say some sentences. I think it's bullshit and fake, and he just practiced a script and reading a script and editing. And I've watched a little from Xiaoma, a little from his videos, but I don't really like his videos, so I don't really watch it. Only I just watch few seconds or few minutes from few videos, and his videos are full of edits. Every few seconds there's some editing, and I think he's holding some mobile with him and reading from Google Translate, or he have some script with him that he's using and looking and reading from his script, but he just do a lot of editing and cut out every time he look and read from his script. This Xiaoma, he's totally fake, and he's reading from a script, but he just edit and cut it out. And then this guy here will say that he's still doing a good work. And then he say that he want to expose the polyglot YouTubers, but he's actually doing the opposite. He's actually saying nice things about them. He said that he think Oli Richards is legit, like he's real and he can speak those 8 languages. And now he's also saying nice things about Xiaoma.
That's what he does, all right? So he is very used to the idea of, I'm just going to give it a try and film it and film their reactions. And also because let's remember one thing. Yeah, that's what he does, all right? So he is very used to the idea of, I'm just going to give it a try and film it and film their reactions. And so he clearly doesn't have a problem that a lot of people do have, which is performance anxiety. Like they're afraid, or what if I don't understand them? What if it's going to make me look silly? Or what if, what if they say something, I don't know what they said? Or what if I speak and they don't understand me? He doesn't have that because he has been doing this for so long that he has broken any barrier possible, and most likely also has a very outward personality, so that helped. But in general, experience helps. Even if you have a very inward personality, you're very shy, if you practice this, if you do this, but possibly with a language that you've studied rather than like him. But if you pick up like a language you studied a lot, and then I know the first time, second time, the third time is going to be scary. But the more you do it, the more you get acclimated to the idea of, it's fine, even if I make a mistake, it's not a big deal. It's a good learning opportunity. And then you can go home, review it, and learn the vocabulary, study it. Why did I not understand that sentence? It can be a really, really good training method. So apart from that, he still did a very good job. I'm impressed with the way he spoke, and the pronunciation was very easy to understand. Just a couple of times with the sections of our words, with those words of ours that have like so many vowels, and I get it, it can be difficult to enunciate right in the way we would. So there were a couple of words that it was like, I'm not sure what he said, but a lot of the times the words like un'antichia, that was very well pronounced and people picked it up. And that's impressive for someone who doesn't actually speak the language. So once again, cool, very fun video. It made my day, loved it. So thank you, Xiaoma, for taking an interest into my language, my dialect, language, whatever it is. I appreciate that. And give it a little exposure, if you will. 1 million views, that's fantastic. So have a great day. Thank you for watching. Acqui boy.
I think this Metatron, she's part of the language learning community. Let's see, what is this one here? We need to talk. My response to this polyglot. Okay, let's see what this video is about.
Hello, noble academics. Welcome to Metatron Academy. Today we are going to review an extremely popular video within the language community that was uploaded, given about 10 years ago, but considering the fact that on my other channel I talk about the medieval period, I think I get a pass when it comes to talking about ancient things. But this was published on the TEDx Talks, which is a channel that has like 14 million subs. It's massive, but the video itself got 34 million views. So I think it's a good idea to review the information presented on this video and make sure that everything is in fact correct, because a lot of people Linum University, no idea how to pronounce it. Anyways, already the first part of the title, normally I would cringe, because whenever you hear these like books and courses that promise you fast results that are too good to be true, then usually there's something wrong with it, and immediately I would ask, okay, where's the book you're trying to sell? And on top of that, in this case, we're talking about Chris Lonsdale. So who is Chris Lonsdale? Well, Chris is a polyglot. Here's another cringe, because normally a lot of polyglots on YouTube are frauds, complete, total scams. The good news is that he is not a scam. So I've heard him speak Mandarin Chinese.
Did you hear that? He said that he is not a scam. And that's something that I have been thinking about. I've been thinking that this Language Jones, but I'm not 100% sure about Language Jones, if he is also one of them. But I mean, I've been thinking this Language Simp and maybe Language Jones and also this guy here. I think the language learning community, when I started to expose those polyglot YouTubers, and there's also another guy who I've been exposing them that I showed on my channel before in one of my videos, where I told you there are some people who are telling the truth about those polyglot YouTubers. There's one guy also who's telling the truth about them, that they're fake and scammers. And what I'm thinking is that when we started to expose to polyglot YouTubers and scammers, then because they know that with time people will watch my channel or someone else's channel saying that they're fake and scammers, then how should they solve this problem? And they will make people who are part of the language learning community come out like those three polyglot or like those three YouTubers here, Language Simp and Language Jones, and this one Metatron. Then they will say that, oh, the polyglot YouTubers are fake, we are going to expose them. And then same time they will make it look like, oh, but Oli Richards is real. And then also this one Language Simp, he said that he like Steve Kaufman. So they want to say that some of them are real. So I think they plan together that they will make that, oh, some of them are real and some of them are not real, or some of them they just know some of the language but they don't know all the languages. So they're trying to save the big scam. They have a big scam running, then they're trying to save the scam, if you know what I mean. They're trying to save themselves from being scammers, that people say that they're scammers. Same like this guy here, he said that he will expose the polyglot YouTubers, but same time he will say Oli Richards is real, and then he will say Xiaoma, he will say this Xiaoma, that he think that he can only speak English and Chinese, and he think the other languages he cannot speak them, but he will still say nice things about him. And then same time now he will say that this polyglot here, he think he's real. Like, listen here.
Lots on YouTube are frauds. Complete, total. Chris is a polyglot. Here's another cringe, because normally a lot of polyglots on YouTube are frauds. Complete, total scams. The good news is that he is not a scam. So I've heard him speak Mandarin Chinese, okay? He's, I believe, American. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the guy is actually really fluent. So at least for once, we get a person who says he's, or maybe people, I don't know if
he said that this guy is really fluent in Mandarin. But how did you know that he's fluent in Mandarin? Then he will say, this guy will say that he know the other guy is fluent in Mandarin because he's also fluent in Mandarin or good in Mandarin. I think you cannot speak Mandarin Chinese, and there's a big chance that this guy you're talking about also cannot speak Mandarin Chinese, and he's a fake and scammer also. And I think you are also fake and liar and scammer. That's what I think about you. I think you're totally fake, especially because you're defending Oli Richards and you're also defending this guy here. And even if you say something bad about Xiaoma and say that he cannot speak all the languages, but I think you say like this because most people can see that Xiaoma cannot speak all those languages, because it's not possible that Xiaoma can speak like more than 100 languages and like that. So they can see that it's totally fake. So I think he's trying to make it look like some of the polyglot YouTubers are real. They're working together. It's like a big scam community, and this guy is part of this language learning scam community, and they're trying to save some of the famous polyglot YouTubers or some of the famous polyglot to say that those people are not fake.
he says it, but people say he's, and the guy is actually really fluent. So at least for once, we get a person who says he's, or maybe people, I don't know if he says it, but people say he's a polyglot. And at least the one language that I hear him talk that is in his native language, well, he sounds really, really good. So I checked that on my own off camera to make sure that it wasn't one of those situations. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with his language abilities. So having said that, let's see if as a language teacher and also someone who's,
Bullshit, you're not a language teacher and you're full of bullshit, man.
reached a reasonable level of fluency in several languages, including with his language abilities. So having said that, let's see if as a language teacher and also someone who's, reached a reasonable level of fluency in several languages, including English, which is my second language, and for instance, Japanese. I'm okay.
You're full of bullshit. You have not reached fluency in several languages.
With my Mandarin, but I'm not his level. I'm never his level. Let's see if I agree with some of the points that he makes. So let's go. Because the claim is still very strong. Learn any language in 6 months. Well, let's see what he's talking about.
People at the back, can you hear me?
And this guy that is from TEDx here, who pretend to be some polyglot or hyper polyglot, he said that you can learn any language in 6 months. And then this guy said that he thinks he's real.
Clearly. Have you ever held a question in mind for so long that it becomes part of how you think, maybe even part of who you are as a person? Well, I've had a question in my mind for many, many years, and that is, how can you speed up learning? This is an interesting question because if you speed up learning, you can spend less time at school. And if you learn really fast, you probably wouldn't have to go to school at all. Now, when I was young, school was sort of okay, but I found quite often...
Learning is very true, and I used to...
So I had this question in mind, how do you learn faster?
Okay, so already his statement that oftentimes school gets in the way of learning is very true, and I used to teach at school. In fact, I taught in many, many schools when I was working under the European Funds of University and Research.
Yeah, bullshit with you. I think you're making some bullshit stories.
Must have taught in something like 15 or 16 different schools because I was sent around a lot. And I have to admit that unfortunately, it's not always the case, depends on the teacher, depends on the country. It's a very generalizing statement, but in general, I have to say that it is absolutely true that sometimes school does not provide their students not only with good teaching, but at the end of the day with the correct tools that can help them ameliorate their situation from an academic standpoint and prepare them for university and higher learning environments. So I agree with him there. Let's see what he says.
This began...
It's been proven that it's false. It doesn't work. In fact, if anything, it disrupts.
It did open the doors to research.
That as well. I know I'm kind of nitpicking a little bit, but I don't think it's up to you to say whether you have reached native-like level. Like you are saying you have. I heard you speak Mandarin. I might even put a little clip later so you can hear and judge him. Right now, his Mandarin is very high, and he's definitely fluent. Does he speak exactly like a native? That is something that, as I said, from an outside perspective, I can pitch standpoint.
Chinese. I saw Chinese people struggling terribly.
Remember, I'm not attacking him because I actually respect the level of fluency he reached in Mandarin, which is an extremely difficult thing to do. And in this case, I do...
Yeah, it looks like you are part of the language learning community and supporting them.
Appreciate what he's saying. Let's not... as much as possible. Yeah, for sure. Everything.
You have to coordinate those in a way that you make sounds that other people...
There are a lot of cases that I remember and recall, even to this day, that I was really pissed, I was angry, and I remember them because of it. I remember when I was in England and I had a couple of arguments, like big-time arguments, and gosh, I learned quite a lot of the words that were thrown around, and they stuck to my memory. It's true that your psychological state matters, but I...
needs to understand 100% every word you're hearing.
Okay, just forget this bullshit. The thing is that I think this guy is part of the language learning community and he's totally fake. I don't know if he's from Italy and can speak Italian and Sicilian, but what I have seen that it looks very fake. The only language that looks real to me is his English. For me, it looks like he can only speak one language, English. But this is not the biggest problem with this channel. I think the biggest problem with this channel and the channel of Language Simp and maybe also Language Jones, I think those three channels are part of the language learning community, and they made those channels to support the polyglot YouTubers by pretending that they want to expose the polyglot YouTubers while they're actually trying to help them or help some of them. They will help some of them that they want to help. And what I mean that they want to help, what do I mean by that? Like they will try to confirm that some of the polyglot YouTubers are real and not fake. Same like when he said that Ollie Richards, he think that he's legit and real. And he said this guy that I just showed you now, he said that he is also real. And then Xiaoma, he will say about Xiaoma that he think that he can only speak Chinese good and the other languages he cannot speak them so good, or that they're not real like that. So he's not totally defending Xiaoma, but he's still defending him a little or saying nice things about him also. But he's trying to defend, I think they're trying to defend the one that is not speaking too many languages. Like Xiaoma, he pretends to speak many languages, so they know that people will not believe that. But Ollie Richards, when he say 8 languages, then maybe some people can still believe that it's possible to speak 8 languages. Then he will say that, oh, Ollie Richards is real. If you get what I mean. Like the one who speak less than 20 languages or less than 15 or less than 10, then they'll try to make it look like they're real. He will say that Ollie Richards is real because it's 8 languages. Then people will think, yeah, maybe it's real because it's only 8 languages. It's not 20 or 50 or 100. It's not it's something that is possible to believe. And I'm not sure how many languages this guy can say he can speak. I'm not sure if he said something about it. But I think you get what I mean. They're trying to help each other by making those accounts here and those channels here that pretend that they are exposing the polyglot YouTubers, while in reality they're trying to help them. And in the future, my advice in the future, don't believe any of those people on the internet, on YouTube or on the internet, who pretend that they're polyglot, or even if they use some other word, they will say that they are linguistic or language learner or whatever kind of word they use, or if they don't even use any word. If they pretend that they can speak more than 6 or 7 languages, then there's a big chance that it's totally fake. Because most people can only speak 1 or 2 or 3 languages, and there are very few people who can speak 4 or 5 languages, and there are very, very few who can speak 6 languages or 7 languages. So if they say they can speak more than 4 or 5 languages, then there's a big chance that they are full of bullshit. Because most people cannot speak more than 3 or 4 or 5 languages, or actually most people speak not more than 4 languages at a high level. Most people, they only speak 1 or 2 or 3, maybe 4 languages at a high level. And if they can speak 1 or 2 or 3 more languages, then it's on a very low level. So I just tell you, don't believe anyone on YouTube. And it's not only about language learning. I noticed there are many other things on YouTube about other topics, not only about language learning, also about other topics that many YouTubers, they're lying about themselves or what they can do, or about other things. Like YouTube is full of liars. Not all of them, but there are many people who are making channels lying about things and making editing to fake things like that. I'm just telling you, be careful in the future. Don't believe any of those people here, because many of them are liars. And those channels here, they made those channels here to pretend that they're exposing the polyglot YouTubers while they're actually helping them. I'm not sure about Language Jones, if he is real about exposing the polyglot. Like this Language Jones, he made some 2 videos or 3 videos now about exposing the polyglot YouTubers, or about saying that they're fake. I don't know if he really don't like them and want to tell the truth about them, or if he's also part of the language learning community and they do it for some reason. Like this channel here is doing it for a reason. He pretend this guy here, Metatron's channel here, he want to say that he want to expose the polyglot YouTubers, and he want to say that some of the polyglot YouTubers are fake. He want to say some of the polyglot YouTubers are fake, but some of them are real. So what is his plan? I think he's part of the language learning community, and they want to help some of the polyglot YouTubers to look like they're real. Maybe they will say, oh, this polyglot is not real, and this one is not real, and this one is fake. So they will say some of them are fake, so they can help the real, so they can help not the real one, but so they can help the one that they want to look real. Because they don't want that you think all of them are fake. In reality, the truth is that all of them are fake. The truth is that all the polyglot YouTubers are fake and liars and scammers, but they want to make it look like some of them are real. In reality, they wish that they could say that all of them are real. But because now me and other people are saying that we don't believe them and they're fake, and I'm showing that they're fake, then they know that they cannot show that all of them are real, or they cannot prove all of them are real. Then they're trying to make some of them look real, or trying to defend them. They'll try to defend some of them, like he did now with Ollie Richards, saying that he's legit, and I'm sure he would do that the same with some of the other polyglot YouTubers. And he also talking with this other one that I told you about that speak Latin. If he can actually speak Latin, I think it might also be fake. This Luke Ranieri or Ranieri something. I think that I think his channel name is Polymass. I think this Luke Ranieri's YouTube channel is Polymass, and I think he's totally fake also. And I'm not sure what is he saying about Matt versus Japan. I think there was also something about Matt versus Japan. This one, I'm not sure. What happened to Matt versus Japan? Let's see this one, if he's also saying something good about him or not. Matt versus Japan is also fake and part of the language learning community. And I don't know, maybe he know a little Japanese, but I don't think he's high level or fluent. I think he's just beginner in Japanese, but pretending to be high level. But he is part of the language learning community, and he also made video with Ollie Richards and some of the other people from the language learning community.
Hello, noble ones, and welcome to Metatron Academy. Today I'd like to talk about Matt versus Japan. Differently from what you might expect, this video is actually a little bit of a collaboration between you and me, in the sense that I'm a hopeful content creator in language. I want to say maybe 2 years ago, I had first started watching and had become a Patreon of another creator called Dorgan, more on him in a minute, and then through Dorgan and a collaboration video, I wasn't aware of Matt vs. Japan until, I want to say maybe 2 years ago. I had first started watching and had become a Patreon of another creator called Dorgan,
Look, he's also friend with this other one, Dogen, who is a friend of Matt vs. Japan. And I think there's a video with those two guys here together about Japanese. I don't know if they speak in Japanese or not, but that's what I'm saying. They're helping each other. They're scammers and liars and frauds helping each other. And now I'm starting to be very sure that this guy here is also fake and a liar and a scammer, same like the other Polyglot YouTubers. I didn't want to say that in my other video before, because some people, if I criticize the Polyglot YouTubers or say that some of them are fake, they don't believe me. So I told people in the other video, it's up to you. It's up to you what you want to believe. But what I see is that this guy here is totally fake, and he's part of the language learning community, and you can see his friends with them also.
More on him in a minute. And then through Dogen and a collaboration video between Dogen and Matt, I found out about him, and then I started watching videos from him. I even had once a direct interaction with Matt through the comment section of one of my videos, namely the video on my main channel where I specifically and publicly asked Dogen to help me with my Japanese, namely with my pitches. And on that video I got comments from both, in the sense that Matt vs. Japan also left a comment because I had mentioned him, and he was very polite towards me. So my only...
You are friends with both of them, and you're part of the language learning community. You are all working together, big scam community, man.
Ever interaction with Matt was positive. So at that time I decided, hey, let's go and watch his content. Thing is, then this happened. Matt stopped posting. It's been about 1 year since Matt posted his last video, and there has been some controversy surrounding both his name, his method, his teaching skills, and most importantly his Patreon. The last video that Matt posted on his 107...
There has been some controversy about Matt vs. Japan and his teaching methods, because he's a scammer and a liar, and I think you are same as him.
7,000 subscribers channel is called Nothing. Another thing that I found stopped getting any traction or recommendation from YouTube at all. And they both have sort of a similar basis when it comes to constant input, but they approach, like in the past, as a from that video that was released, is that it was a video, infamous video, to dictate the situation. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what messages had been exchanged before. So because I don't know the full extent of the situation and the details thereof, I don't feel that that video really qualifies as something that could be clearing up the air and help us really understand what the heck happened to Matt vs. Japan channel. Now, putting the whole controversy to the side, as I'll be waiting for your comments about it, I'd like to go and check out Matt's channel. And the first thing that I'm at, some of his videos are very similar to another creator who is in the Mandarin-speaking community, extremely famous, Xiaoma. And I'm talking about the white guy speaks perfect Japanese.
Yeah, bullshit. All of you, big scam community.
Trend of videos. Now, Xiaoma, or someone like Matt, or anyone, putting on the title, white guy speaks perfect Japanese, or white guy speaks perfect Mandarin, everyone is amazed, is that Xiaoma speaks excellent Mandarin, no, in its very... Matt vs. Japan speaks great Japanese, still not perfect. Perfect puts you in a position where now everything you say is going to be judged in its very...
This guy here, I think, or I'm actually very sure that he's part of the language learning community, and he's working together with those Polyglot YouTubers and those scammers, and he's one of them, and he's totally fake. But the biggest problem right now with him is not that he's fake. The biggest problem is this channel here is created, this channel here, and the same with Language Simp and maybe Language Jones. They created those channels to defend this big scam. They made those channels to defend this big scam because people are starting to question the polyglot YouTubers and saying that they're fake and liars and scammers, especially after I made videos about them, and also some other people, I think they talk about them. Now more people don't believe in them. Then those scammers here, they came and pretend that they are exposing them, but in reality they will defend some of them. And I think that's what I wanted to talk about. I hope you got my point or what I wanted to say. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I think you got my point about this. So be careful, whatever they call themselves, if they call themselves polyglot or linguistic or language learner, it doesn't matter if they call themselves polyglot or linguistic or language learner, or if they don't call themselves anything specific. If they just make some YouTube channel and don't call themselves polyglot, don't call themselves linguistic, don't call themselves language learner, or don't call themselves anything. If they make some YouTube channel and pretend to speak 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever languages, then there's a big chance that they are full of bullshit. More than 5 languages, then you need to start to think about that there's something wrong. Because most people cannot speak more than 1 or 2 or 3 languages at a high level. Some people can speak 4 languages at a high level, and few or very few can speak 5 languages at a high level. But there's a big chance if they speak 4 or 5 languages that 1 or 2 of them is not high level, it's just basic or a little more than basic. And if they speak 6 languages, then it's only very few people who can speak 6 languages or more. And then if they can do that, then I think that only 2 or 3 of them, maybe 4 are fluent, and the rest are not fluent. And also, if there's a person who can speak more than 4 or 5 or 6 languages, then there's a big chance that this person is not really interested in making some YouTube channel to brag about speaking 5 or 6 or 7 languages. That person will be working for some big international company or some other important work and make a big salary because that person can speak 5 or 6 or 7 languages at a high level. Then they will work some important work for the government, or they will work some important work for some big company where they need people who can speak many languages and get a high salary. They will not waste their time on some stupid YouTube channel. So if someone pretends to speak more than 5 or 6 languages, then I think there's a big chance they're full of bullshit. And this guy here, he is full of bullshit and he's part of the language learning community. I was going to end the video, but I still want to see what he will say here in the other video about Ollie Richards, and then maybe from the one also about Lang Focus. Let's see this one here. Is Ollie Richards' video on 17 Italian accent correct? Response. Okay, so let's just take a look here on this one, but I don't think it's interesting. I'm not sure. I'll just see if you say something interesting. I think you just pretend that he know the different Italian accents.
Hello noble ones and welcome to Metatron Academy. Today we're checking out a video called The Secret World of Italian. The guy sounds really speaking about Sicilian, which is of course my dialect or regional language, shall we say. Let's go.
The way they speak at the goodbye sign. Io porto il caciucco ovviamente. Io porto un po' di pappa al pomodoro. Io porto un po' d'acqua, vai.
A lot of different languages, but you can always communicate with Italian.
It's a beautiful language spoken in Venice.
Italian is spectacular. Probably one of the best in the nation, of course. I've been to Venice.
At the time, it was the most prestigious lingua
With class. Say Italian.
and you might even think it sounds
Better than German, although then again, of course, German is the most recognized.
but it kind of disappeared.
Specifically Brazilian Portuguese. And the intonation in Emilia-Romagna.
It does. It originated. There's something intriguing about the way that they Lazio, Abruzzo, Puglia, Calabria. Tomorrow, I'll write to you. You just say, tomorrow, I write to you. Although a lot of Italians speak like this. Anyway, according to dialects, but also...
And there is a massive, massive difference due to all those different influences from different populations, as you know. And it will say even all the way to Siracusa, Catania. Link in the description. You should check it out. Come on.
And Sardinia is the second big, closest to...
It depends on the area, though. I think it's northern Sardinia, the one that has into Centum, which is much closer to Italian. It's more of an sounding pronunciation, so that one wasn't.
They're doing something right in Sardinia because more people are making it. Which of these languages, if you want to know how standard...
So again, hello to Ollie Richards. Fantastic video. You did a great job. So,
well, you should definitely watch...
Listen what he's saying now. He will say hello to Ollie Richards and fantastic video. He's part of the language learning community and he likes Ollie Richards. And in the video I showed you before, he said that Ollie Richards is legit and real polyglot.
This video next because it will reveal the entire story.
I'll definitely check it out. So again, hello to Ollie Richards. Fantastic video. You did a great job. So I'm going to subscribe and then I'll check out your...
You say he will subscribe. He will subscribe to the scammer Ollie Richards. He will subscribe to the fake polyglot scammer liar Ollie Richards because he is part of the language learning community. This liar here, he's also a liar and a scammer and fraud fake. And what is look this nonsense here? He say, don't trust native speakers. Why you can't trust native speakers? And I think I know what he will say, but he's full of bullshit. Let's take a fast look here on this one. Let's take a look fast on this one, what it's about, what he will say.
Academy. So today's topic is a little wider than that intro statement. But the idea is you can't always trust a native speaker to be the best teacher of their languages. In fact, oftentimes, they're terrible teachers. I'd like to approach this rather complicated topic by dividing the video into two. On part one, we'll discuss the scenario whereby you got a friend and you're trying to learn their language. It's a native speaker, so you ask them, hey, how do you say this? How do you say that? Could you translate this? Could you translate that for me? On scenario two, we're going to talk about schools, specifically language schools. Speak correctly their language, very generally. It goes without saying that there is a lot that goes into it. Lots of factors at play. What's the level of education of said speaker? Because, generally speaking, native speakers speak correctly their language, very generally speaking, but there are people that don't. And depending on the level of education and also just personal ways of their language. That skill set needs to be acquired. Yes, some people are talented, naturally, but in general, you have to become a teacher. You're not automatically a teacher, and just because you know something, for instance, your native tongue, but also freaking mathematics, it doesn't mean that you then also know how to teach it to someone else. Completely different spheres. But apart from the actual skill set that you need to do that, oftentimes, of course, they haven't been trained, so they don't know all the details for that, particularly if they can't speak your language and you're kind of forced to also to sort of overcome those with schools. And that is the fact that I'm not trying to tell you don't use in a good way natives to improve your language skills. No, absolutely do so. If in fact one of the best things you can do is that doesn't make PR department to push their classes to mean, yes, this is proper stuff. You want to learn English? We've got Americans, we've got English people. Do you want to learn whatever French? Did take the test coming from the same perspective and same language as you and got excellent results and has a great track record, that's a teacher you want, not necessarily.
Yeah, I know he will say something like this, but you know what? You're full of bullshit. I know he will say like this, but it's not totally true. He will say that, oh, someone who speak same language like you, if he learn another language, then you can learn more from him than from a native speaker, just because he also learned that language. But this is not always true, and you're full of bullshit. What language should I learn next? Let's take a fast look on this bullshit. Let's take a look on this nonsense here.
So, what's the next language I'm going to study? Hello, noble ones, and welcome to Metatron Academy. So, enough is enough, right? What is a number that I'll consider, right, yeah, this is my, I don't know, 5th language, 7th language, 10th language. What is a number which we can consider, I'm done, I'm not going to learn any other language, perhaps I'll just focus a little bit on the ones that I will never stop picking languages up for 2 reasons. First, I really enjoy the process, which is really something that I will never shut up about, and it's something I constantly say on this platform.
You're not really enjoying the process of learning languages. You are enjoying the process of making YouTube videos on 2 YouTube channels. Not only 1 YouTube channel, on 2 YouTube channels. And I don't know if you have other YouTube channels also. Like, how do you have time to learn languages when you're making videos on 2 YouTube channels at the same time, and you have been uploading videos on your main channel for more than 10 years or 14 years? I don't know how many years. I think I saw you have some videos like 10 years ago or 14 years ago. So I've been making videos for many years on YouTube and very busy with his YouTube channel. So how does he actually have time to learn languages? You are full of bullshit. And I've shown that your videos are totally fake and edited.
The process needs to be fun. You need to enjoy yourself so much that I want people at an individual level completely loves challenges. I'm thinking, should I first go through Spanish and maybe reach a good level in a year or so and then tackle another language? Or should I just say, F it, let me just do Greek? Because I mean, Greek is such a fun, interesting language, and there is so much.
Yeah, blah blah bullshit with you. Where's the one with lang focus? I want to show you this one also with lang focus. You will also say something nice about him.
Hello, noble ones, and welcome to Metatron Academy. Today, I have something to say to Paul from Lang Focus. It is the excellent and high-quality information that he provides, and also because of all the different topics that he approaches. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a sucker for languages. But precisely because of his precision, there is one thing that he has said multiple times on his videos, particularly the ones dedicated or related to Romance languages, that bothers me a bit. In fact, Paul, if you're watching this, I extend my salutation. Let's have a little interesting discussion here. The item of discussion today is this. A new language in 1,000 years from now, you wouldn't English. I mean, we still call it still all English. And yet, for Latin, oh no, that's among the masses. It's still all Latin. Look at it. More on that later, though, because people misunderstand what that means. But yeah, history, all the way down to a Cockney, is to just say French, Portuguese, Italian. Very much love to hear your opinions first, dear noble ones, what you think. To expand a little bit further, when people say French people during the Roman, the myth being in the educated elite, I would even remove classical from that. Once again, imagine a language it is that, yes, of course they did. You see, expressed by the best classical people using a sort of counter, the lowest possible register spoken by the language. Latin had different registers. No human being now, you wouldn't came from to a fishmonger, the Irish, I mean, all to a smaller sphere when we use, and you have some different register of the same language. That is what I'm arguing here today. So I think it would be much more accurate Hello noble ones and welcome. I've already made a video about lang focus and I have very much respect for both Paul, the content creator, because of his precision and how thorough he is.
See, I've already made a video about lang focus, so I think it's not this one. There was another one, I think, about lang focus. This one. What do I think of lang focus channel? So I think it was this one. So I think it's this video here where he will say his opinion about. He will say his opinion here about lang focus. It was not the other video here.
We have a little bit of an unusual video. Now, if you have searched at least once in your entire language learning, you definitely know about. But what is my opinion on lang focus and what do I think about his content and the sort of videos that he makes? And is watching lang focus a good way to enrich your knowledge of languages and in general help you out through your linguistic journey? Well, right off the bat, I want to say that Lang channel is literally one of the OG ones because I remember his channel when I first started a relatively established channel. So this guy, and I will be leaving 5 links in the description. Information that he shares with the public is literally academic level. If he actually has formal training, I don't know if he has like a degree or if it's just a passion, but whatever the case, whether he has a degree or not, the level of information and accuracy of relatively deep topics as well when it comes to linguistics and the history of languages, whatnot, and the differences, comparative key also, there's very much of a comparative level theme on his channel. It's something that I would have used as a professional, particularly when I was, because now I'm not teaching in school anymore, but I used to, requirements or some of the things. Understand that some people not on the 2 major varieties. Personally, when it comes at the beginning, as you noticed, I used the word linguist, and I'm not really that linguist, and I'm specifically more lighthearted. So I think he's a good presenter as well as an informer. So his channel is very informative. At the beginning, as you noticed, I used the word linguist, and I'm specifically saying it as opposed to the controversial word polyglot. So I don't know if this guy actually speaks many languages, because it's not really that kind of channel. Most of the times, and I really have...
See, he says something about linguistic and polyglot, and he say that he don't know if he can speak all the languages, but what he is actually saying is that this lang focus is more like a linguistic channel. And that's what I'm saying, that now they're trying to make it look like they're just linguistic and they're not polyglots. Then this guy will pretend that he can speak 7 languages, but he's just a linguistic. And same like Language Jones would say that he's linguistic. And then this lang focus is also some kind of linguistic. And this lang focus is also fake. And he pretend that he understand or know many languages. He makes some videos about information about languages, but same time I noticed that he pretend that he actually know many of those languages or that he can understand them. And I think he have also some videos with the polyglot YouTubers, or they have some communication. I've seen that. This lang focus, he's also part of the language learning scam community, and he also pretend that he can speak many languages, even if he don't say it in all of his videos, but he still pretend that he know the languages or that he can understand them. He's also fake and liar and scammer and part of the language learning community, this lang focus. And this guy, he will say something nice about him. That's what I said. They are trying to save some of them. Like, it's a big scam community, and now people are starting to question them and saying that, oh, they're fake and liars and scammers. Then now they're trying to save as many as possible. It's like a sinking boat. You know, a sinking boat that is sinking. Then they will try to save as many people possible from this scam community. So not all of them will sink in the sea and be named as scammers and fake. It's like their big scam is falling apart. This language learning community, their big scam is falling apart, and then they want to try to save as many people from this scam community as possible, but they know some of them it will be difficult to save them. Some of them, maybe like Wouter Corduina or Xiaoma, or some of those people who have been saying that they can speak so many languages and making some videos that you can see that it's not real, then they will not save them now. They will try to save the other one that can look real, same like Luca Lampariello or maybe Lindy Botes, I don't know, and then maybe also Ollie Richards. They will try to save some of those people that can look real, or some of the people that is important to the language learning community. Maybe Richard Simcott, even he pretend to speak more than 50 languages, but he is the owner of this conference, the Polyglot conference. So maybe they'll try to save him also. So it's like a sinking boat or a big scam that is falling apart. A big scam that is falling apart. Now they're trying to save some of the scammers and make it look like they're real, and then they'll say some of them are not real. So they will make some of them look real and some of them not look real, so they can try to save some of them. And maybe the one that they will say now they're not totally real, like Xiaoma or Wouter Corduina, or some of them that they will say, oh, they're not totally real, Polyglot or whatever. Then after some time, maybe they will also try to save them. Then they will say that, oh, now they're becoming better in the languages. Now they're also polyglot, or now they can also speak many languages, or they're just linguistic, or they will say they're linguistic or language learner. It's like a big scam falling apart, and now they're trying to save some of those scammers, making it look like they're real, or look like they're not scammers, that they're just linguistic, or they're just having fun. Same like this scammer, what's her name, that I made a video about her. I forgot her name now. This girl, if you watch my YouTube channel, I think you know who I'm talking about. This girl who is living in China or Japan, and she has some boyfriend, or now they're got married or something, her boyfriend from Japan or something. This girl there who also makes same kind of video like Xiaoma and Laushu, walking around surprising people speaking the language. This girl there, I forgot her name now. I think you know who am I talking about. This girl there, she also made some videos where she says something about Wouter Corduina and like that. But what I want to say is that they're trying to save their big scam. Okay, this girl YouTuber I was talking about, her name is Oriental Pearl. This Oriental Pearl, she also made some video talking about if the polyglot YouTubers are real or fake, like that. And then even she tried to say that something bad about it, but still she was actually saying something good, because she would make a video showing Wouter Corduina, and then she's also defending Wouter Corduina. So she actually working with them and also saying good about them. They just pretend that they're exposing them, or that they're questioning about if polyglot are real or fake, but they're working together, and it's just a big scam. They're just pretending now that, oh, maybe some of the polyglot are not real, or are they real, or are they not real. It's just bullshit, and they're fake and liars and scammers, and it's a big scam community. Don't trust any one of them, because it's a big scam community and they're just liars, and they will say anything to try to save their big scam, to try to make people believe in their lies. They're trying to save this big scam here. They are a big scam community, and they're trying to save the scam. They're trying to save as many people as possible. I think you know what I mean. And I need to talk about this because I want people watching this to know what's really going on. That is what is really going on. There are a big scam community and the scam is falling apart. The scam is falling apart and now they're trying to save each other as much as possible.
To commend him for it when he presents information on languages where he probably isn't proficient in. He noticed I use the word linguist, and I'm specifically
Speakers of both varieties love me because they're sure I just called the other one fake.
be into that sort of way of making jokes. For example, this one.
And my name is Paul. Today we're going to focus on the two major varieties of Portuguese, real Portuguese and fake Portuguese. Now speakers of both varieties love me because they're sure I just called the other one fake.
Personally, when it comes to me, I think it's brilliant. It made me laugh. It makes everything a little more lighthearted.
Listen now, he will say something about him being polyglot or linguistic like that.
I think he's a good presenter as well as an informer, so his channel is very informative. At the beginning, as you noticed, I used the word linguist, and I'm specifically saying it as opposed to the controversial word polyglot. So I don't know if this...
The controversial word polyglot. Why now polyglot is controversial word? Before, for like more than 10 years or 14 years, Luca Lampariello and Lauscio and Richard Simcott, and also I'm not sure if I Kena from the beginning or not, and also who more, and Oli Richards, and some of those polyglot YouTubers that have been there for like 10 years, 14 years like that. All those years they didn't say that polyglot YouTubers are controversial. Only now, after I start to expose them and some other people also talking about them, and then people start not to believe in them, and now they'll say that polyglot is a controversial word, and then they should just call them linguistic. So it's still the same scammers, but instead of calling them polyglot, they will call them linguistic. So if someone is a liar and a scammer and fake, and before that person were calling himself a polyglot, then now he or she will call himself or herself a linguistic, then suddenly the person will be real and a good person and not a scammer anymore. Like if someone was calling himself or herself a polyglot and pretending to speak 10 languages, and now they will change from calling themselves polyglot to call themselves a linguistic, then suddenly it's real that they can speak 10 languages and they're not scammers. Just because you change your name from polyglot to linguistic or to language learner or to anything else, it doesn't change that you are fake liars and scammers and you are a scam community.
This guy actually speaks many languages. At the beginning, as you noticed, I used the word linguist, and I'm specifically saying it as opposed to the controversial word polyglot. So I don't know if this guy actually speaks many languages, because it's not really that kind of channel. Most of the times, and I really have to commend him for it, when he presents information on languages where he probably isn't proficient in, he uses native people's recording. Now, this is something that he didn't do at the very beginning of his channel, which is why at first I wasn't a huge fan of the work. I don't know what level. First, I wasn't a huge fan of the work, in the sense that I remember watching a video of his where he was like comparing conversational level of French, but in general, because he used it to compare sentences in the two languages. I'm talking about like 7 years ago, and he has absolutely changed that, and he doesn't do it he's not proficient in, which is there's nothing wrong with that. He uses it in key moments where it actually makes sense and it's fine. A very important thing I'd like to say, particularly with Asian languages, but in general, even if you listen to a sound in a language, whether it be Portuguese, Japanese, Korean, understand that they are actually not replicating that sound as a linguist. So Japanese, but we have had some full-on absolute linguists from English. I mean that it's more a channel where he's providing his informational content to it, or I reached from English. I don't know, but the thing is that it doesn't really matter, because his channel is not necessarily a channel where the majority of his content is, hey, I reached fluency in Japanese, so let me show you how to do it, or I reached fluency in Mandarin and I can pronounce the tones and I got it all down, let me show you how to do it. It seems to me that it's more a channel where he's providing his informational content when it comes to the study of linguistics, phonology, and lots of other things that come with a baggage of, I want to learn more about a language, possibly as I'm also studying said language. And if you want to do that kind of content, then you don't need to be fluent in, I want to say, Korean, or you don't even need to know anything about Korean when it comes to your ability to speak, but you can study about Korean and then make a presentation about it. It's absolutely fine. I really like his work. I think he's doing a great job, and I'm actually curious to see how he does his research, because it's one or two things. Either he's really good at doing research, very possible, or he really is talking to the right people.
Yes, he's talking to the language learning scam community and people from the Polyglot conference. All those people are helping each other and working together, supporting each other in making their videos and their channel. If someone can speak a language or want to pretend to speak Italian or French or German or other language, then he will find another polyglot YouTuber who can speak that language to help him with that. They're working together. It's a big scam community. They are scammers and help each other to pretend to speak many languages. If one of them is from Italy, then he will help someone else with the Italian language to make some fake videos in Italian, and same with the other languages. They communicate together, those polyglot YouTubers and those people from the language learning community. That's why I also have this polyglot conference, to meet each other, to plan their scam together. Someone who is from Italy will help someone else from Germany to make some videos in Italian, and the one from German will help the Italian to make videos in German, and so on. And someone from Sweden will help the polyglot YouTubers to make videos in Swedish, and so on with the different languages. They're helping each other to make a big scam. It's a big scam community.
Because I want to say, before making this video, I watched about maybe 15, 17, I kind of lost count, but I watched many of his videos in a row. Because before making this video, I wanted to be kind of informed and not just talk about something that I remember from many years ago when I watched a few of his videos. And as I was watching, like I watched this video about Portuguese, it was absolutely phenomenal. And then I was reading the comments underneath it, and this is very important. I noticed that what he gets, I want to say most of the times, is natives of those languages that he's talking about praising him for how accurate the information he was presenting was. And that's always a great indicator, because even if you need a linguist to be able to explore the depth of phonology, morphology, semantics, and all the different characteristics, even pronunciation, but a native always has the ability to tell you, yeah, okay, you read a book, but I speak the language, I live in the country, and what you said, it's not true, we don't speak like that. Or, yeah, okay, what you said, it's good, but we actually don't say it that way, we say it this other way. And it's not like you can always trust a native over a linguist. There are situations in which natives are wrong. Or like I remember maybe one of the first times I was in London, I remember a guy, and I told him, oh, you know, I live in London. I was in London last year, that's what I told him, we were somewhere else. And he was like, oh, was you? Which, it's not great grammar, should have been were you, but he's a native. So, you know, you can't always trust natives. But when it comes to a situation like YouTube, where, of course, you're broadcasting to a large audience, particularly with a channel his size, and then you have a lot of natives, and all of them praise him for what he's saying, there is a much higher chance, statistically speaking, that what he's saying is correct, even though me, for example, I don't know anything about Portuguese, but now I'm starting to learn a little bit with this series that I've had on my channel, but I wouldn't be able to tell if what he's presenting is correct or not. But I noticed that, people seem to really enjoy what he's doing. And in general, for the stuff that I do know and I'm proficient in, so far I haven't found one single mistake. Given I haven't watched all of his videos, which is why there are things that I don't know. And maybe he has made a video where he said, by the way, I speak French and spoke French for the entire video. I don't know. But what I do know is that through the, I want to say 15, 17, 18 videos that I've watched from him, the guy's doing a great job. So if you are interested in learning more about languages, I think Lang Focus is a must subscribe. And if you haven't, check out the 5 videos that I put in the description today, because these are the 5 videos that I have enjoyed the most. Keep up the good work, and thank you so much for producing.
And what I know is that this Lang Focus is part of the language learning community, and he's also fake and pretending to speak many languages, and you are also fake pretending to speak many languages. And I figured out why you made this channel. This channel is made to defend the polyglot YouTubers. He pretend that he want to expose them, but in reality he might just expose few of them while he try to defend the others. It's like a scam, a big scam that is falling apart, and people are starting to know about this scam, and that they're scammers and liars and fake. Then he will pretend that he's exposing them, but in reality he do like this so he can defend people like Ollie Richards or other people that he want to defend and make it look like they're real. He's part of the scam community, and he's one of them